ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma mritangamaya Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Please open your eyes. This should be our daily commitment. Asatoma Sadgamaya, always committed to move from untruth to truth. Whether I'm in truth or untruth is very simple. How do I know? If who you are and how you are within yourself, I'm joyful or miserable is entirely my making. If you understand this much, you will start fixing it. Your own choice about what I can have for dinner. Whatever my wife cooks, I have to eat. But Shankaran Pillai was chirpy and happy. So I have a choice. My wife also cooks whatever she wants, but she gives me a choice. You either take it or leave it. There is a choice with life. The choice is not always necessarily or physical, but how to be is entirely your choice right now. But Sadhguru, this is happening, that's happening, I know more things going wrong in the world and with everything that I'm doing than you. But this is your choice. Either go through all the mess joyfully or miserably. Mess is inevitable. The more activity you're doing in the world, more mess. But will you go through it light-footed, joyfully, or you become a planet spinner, you think you are the one spinning the planet every day? I see a few faces who are planet spinners, who think they are the ones who are moving the planet every day. They're so worried and tense all the time for little things that they're doing. If you think you're very important, you are in untruth. We are just a speck of life in a small mud ball called earth. Hello? Hello? And your life depends your life is not in the hands of some great god. A virus can decide whether you live or die. Hello? Not some great god who is sitting up there, just a virus. That's how small you are. So the moment you think you're too big and too important, you have landed in untruth. This will cause misery to you, and in turn you will of course share it with the rest of the world. If you want a joyful world, if you want a beautiful world, the first thing is to make this one joyful and beautiful. Yes, this is the most important thing. If you can't do it with this, how do you do with this? This is the most willing participant, isn't it? Hello? In this life, this is the most willing participant. To get them to participate is another thing. That's a lot of work. Yes, those who realize that take brahmacharya. Those who don't, muddle around. It's fine. So, hearing all the noise, looks like flirtation is over. Hello? That is an evolutionary regression. Yeah, that the local ass is always doing it. It has more lung power than you. Please, if you have a question. Whoever has the longest hand will get the microphone.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. How do I move from flirtation to love to devotion? This question is from Kirtika from Mumbai.
Oh. See, why, on one level, why one chooses to be flirtatious rather than just fall in love is, there is a certain fear of engagement. There is a certain fear of involvement and entanglement. But the need to connect is still there, so you want to simply like that. Little more means you may get caught. So flirtation is coming from a fundamental sense of insecurity. They will not accept this, I know. They'll say, no, we are more… Because it's… people think if you're flirtatious, you're more romantically alive. No. You will never know what is romance unless you're horribly in love with somebody. Yes, you will not know. Flirtation is coming from a certain sense of insecurity and fear that if I take one more step, I may get entangled. If you cross that, or if somebody helps you cross that, then love may happen. Love means, compared to flirtations, much less conditions. Flirtation is super conditional, very conditional. One mistake, it's over. Love means you can do silly things and still it is okay. When you're flirtatious, if you do silly things, they'll just say you're a silly fool and they'll go away. But if they're in love with you, when you do silly things, they think you're cute. Yes. When you see the sweetness of love, when you see that love seems to be a profound experience, at the same time so fragile that every day you have to hold it right, otherwise it will either become a fossil in your hands or… you know what's a fossil? I don't want to use, the parallel words in society. Your love might have become a fossilized. That means it cannot further change, there are no new possibilities, but it'll be there. Or it'll evaporate in your hands. So this problem is there. Because of this, another kind of insecurity comes. That… somebody was telling me this this is a much married man. He was telling me, Sadhguru, the problem is, when we marry a woman, we don't want her to change, we want her the same way. We married her when she was 18, we want her just the same way, always. But the problem with women is, they want you to change every day. A woman's complaint is her man is not changing. A man's complaint is a woman is changing. In body, mind, emotion, everything, she's changing. He is not changing enough for her. So it creates its own things and people go through pains and pleasures and problems and stuff. Because of your pain or problem, you cannot move into devotion. If the exuberance of love reaches its peak, you will become devoted. Devotion does not mean going to a temple, church or mosque, looking up to God and praying or something. Devotion means your involvement is total, unbridled, unconditional. Does not depend on what the other person is doing or not doing. Devotion need not even be about a person or a deity, it can be about anything. So somebody some time ago, somebody was saying, Sadhguru, you're a great Shiva devotee. I said, hey, when did you see me daily going to Shiva temple and doing Shiva puja daily morning? Did you see me? Every day in and day out, I'm sitting with people, all kinds of idiots. Endlessly putting my life out. I didn't say I'm a devotee of Shiva. My life is a manifestation of my devotion to the people that I know or I do not know, to the life around me. So devotion is not about something else. Devotion means your involvement is total. Your involvement is not conditional. Your involvement does not depend on what somebody else is doing or not doing. They're responding or not responding. You are 100% devoted. With this, your genius will unfold because emotion is a strong part of your existence, very strong. Even people who think they are very intellectual, actually they are more emotional than intellectual, but they like to think they're intellectual. If you tell them they are not, they'll get angry. That means they're emotional. Emotion does not mean just some sweet things flowing out of you. Anger is also an emotion, frustration is also an emotion, irritation is also an emotion. So, emotion rules most human beings. In most human beings, compared to body, mind, emotion and energy, emotion is still the most dominant force in most human beings. When it is so, transforming that into a place where it is not an impediment in your life is very important. You have a physical body, keeping it well, keeping it in such a way that it is not a daily concern, is it important? Hello? So you call this fitness, well-being, whatever. But it's very important. Otherwise, if you don't keep this well, every day from morning to evening, your only concern will be this and nothing else. And the same is true with emotion. If you do not keep your emotion in the highest possible exuberance, it will impede everything else. Especially human genius has been horribly curtailed because of constipation of emotion. It doesn't flow, it is constipated. Only if I see this person, love. If I see this person, you become constipated. Why can't you look upon everything and nothing in a loving way? Because after all, it's yours. Hello? You being loving is your business, got nothing to do with anybody. You don't need anybody's permission. If you want to look at the sky lovingly, do you want to ask God's permission? Can I? No, you're always thinking love means you have to take something. That is not love, that is a mutual benefit scheme. Okay? Do not misunderstand mutual benefit scheme of you give me this, I'll give you that as a love affair. Love means your sweetness is overflowing. Maybe somebody inspired it in you. Maybe somebody was instrumental in making that happen in you, or you did it yourself. You are self-start or push-start, you can decide. But somehow you got started, that is good. Yes, somehow your emotions became sweet. So once you've tasted the sweetness of emotion, to make it unconditional is a natural longing, if you have sense. Even if you became or you experience the sweetness of emotion in a conditional atmosphere, once you've experienced it, to take it to a place where it is no more conditional, no more ruled by anybody, whether they're there, not there, somebody has to do this, somebody has to do that. To release it from that bondage is a natural, sensible progression. So from love to devotion, if you have known the profoundness of love and the deep sweetness of love, you cannot help becoming devout. Do not understand because this word has been used only in religious context. No. Tell me, anybody in this world, have they done anything absolutely significant in their life without being devoted to what they're doing? Whether it's business, art, music, spirituality, politics, anything. Nobody has done anything significant in this world without being absolutely devoted to it. Without devotion, your genius will not unfold. You are an impediment in your own life. You don't need outside help. You are self-imprisonment process and you are a very good warden, you will never let yourself get out. So this is why devotion, where the exuberance of your emotion rises to a pitch where nobody decides how it is. When that happens, you're in devotion. And you must know the blissfulness of being devoted to what you're devoted to doesn't matter. You're devoted, that's all that matters. There's room for one more question. Yeah, she's got the longest hand because she stood up. Yeah, please.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I'm Priyanka from Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, dry place, huh?
My question is, when there is no outside disturbance, I see myself getting involved in my sadhana, and my sadhana happens so intensely. But when I get to face family disturbances, social comments, and career challenges, I'm not able to focus on my spiritual path. I get fed up with the situations and my mind plays tricks on me and I want to leave every sadhana and attend social things first. Sadhguru, will it be worthwhile at the end of the day?
What will be worthwhile? Sadhana.
Sadhana. Will it be worthwhile at the end of the day being in this sadhana, irrespective of any situation I face? If it is worthwhile, I need an assurance from you to me. That everything will be fine at the end of the day if I stay on this.
At the end of the day, what do you mean? Today or? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, everything will not be fine, you will be dead. Yes. Is that okay? You are using the term end of the day as at the end of life, right?
End of the life.
You'll be dead. It's a fact, I'm telling you the truth. ఏమండి అనంతపూర్ వాళ్ళు కూర్చోండి. You know, 2 years when I was growing up, I was in Guntakal, very close to you, but you were not there. So it was not at the beginning of the day for you, because you were not there at that time. What is sadhana, first of all? The word sadhana means a tool. What are we talking about? Are we talking about screwdrivers, spanners and winches and whatever? No. We are talking about the tools that we have, our body, our mind, our emotion, our energies. These are the tools that we have. If we have mastery over these tools, we can make the very planet our tool to work for us. If we have mastery over this tool, we can make many aspects of this creation work for us. If you have no mastery over this, even your physical body or your mind or your emotion or your energy, end of the day will come, of course. End of the day will come for everybody. But if you really have mastery over these four tools, there is no end of the day. The day doesn't end for that one who has transcended one's physical self, one's psychological structure, one's emotional structures, and even one's limited biological energy structures to become something more than a biological being. This is what sadhana is about, that you learn to use these tools as tools. Right now, the tools that you gather, you think it's you. The moment you think the tools that you have gathered as yourself, well, you're a mess, you're a young woman, already thinking about the end of the day. It's good to plan that long. But will I benefit from this, or at the end of the day, will it work? No, these tools, if you use them properly, if you use the sadhana properly, it'll work right now. End of the day, I told you, you will be dead. And it need not work at the end of the day. And these tools work right now when you're alive. At the end of the day, if there is an end of the day for you, then you won't need any tools. Hello? You won't need any tools. If you use these tools as tools, not as yourself, there is no end of the day. One day you will lose the tools, and it's fine if you use them well. Only a machine which constantly needs repair, you must carry a lot of tools. A machine which is very good need not carry a big toolkit every day, isn't it? Hello? So sadhana is about building this instrument in such a way that it needs least amount of maintenance. I don't know what social pressures you're involved in nothing, some petty nonsense around you. What big things can happen in Anantapura, come on. I'm not disparaging Anantapur, I'm not saying that, but what big pressures are happening to you? Nothing. Parents will tell you, what are you closing your eyes and sitting, go and study, find a job, find a man at least. That is all the pressure. Hello? What other pressure is happening? Nothing. They're either telling you study or go get a job or at least find a man that we like. Don't think that is pressure. Lot more things can happen in life, lot more things. If this itself, if you can't take pressure, well, at the end of the day, okay, you just need assurance, at the end of the day it works. I'm not advertising anything here, I'm only trying to share with you what has worked miraculously for me. I'm not giving you any other tools from somewhere else. I am not a victim of anybody's marketing campaign. No, nobody can market anything to me. I am only sharing what has really worked for me, absolutely. Do I look like at the end of the day it's worked for me? Hello? Then it works, I think. Why do you decide which is the last question? There is a gender parity here.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, this question I have since I did my inner engineering here in ashram. When they were teaching Upayoga to me, the question came to me, why all the steps are 3? Like, we need to do everything 3 times. I asked the Ma and she said, only Sadhguru can answer it, why is it 3? Since then, like I've been looking at many things. Many things in Isha, it's only 3. Like, you see the multi-storied building, Shivapadam, it has only 3 floors.
Okay, wait. I know. The Shivapadam, there are 3 buildings, other 3 are yet to be built. And I believe you have 3 eyes. No, maybe. I hope, at the end of the day. You will have 3 eyes. Dhyanalinga, there is only 1. Maybe we'll make 3 one day. Adiyogi, there is only 1. Maybe there will be 3. Yes, there will be more than 3. All the people who are here in Isha Yoga Center have only 2 legs. But 4 limbs. If we cut one of the limbs, it'll become 3. Come on, where do you come up with these silly theories? My car has 4 wheels, anyway, I'm not driving auto rickshaw. And motorcycle has 2 wheels, no auto rickshaw, okay? The day I start driving an auto rickshaw, then you can tell me this, I'll answer in a different way. Because somebody told you, only Sadhguru can answer this. When I start driving an auto rickshaw instead of a motorcycle or a car, then that is the answer at the end of the day. Oh… No. Please. One second. So, this whole process of this 12 months of flirtation, it's happening in many different ways. Spiritual process is a flirtation for most people. That's why I call this process as full moon flirtations, because I see over 2 billion people are watching the YouTube, but that many people are not getting engaged in any practice because they just like to flirt with spiritual process. No, Sadhguru, I listen to all the spiritual leaders and I get little tidbits from everybody. This is not a spiritual process. Listening to more and more talks or reading more and more books is not a spiritual process. What you process in your head is not spiritual, it's psychological. Whether you are processing social stuff or you are processing so-called spiritual stuff, there is no difference in your mind. You bring it into your mind only as an inspiration, that's all. Once the inspiration part is done, it's just entertainment, talks and readings and everything, because it needs to happen here. This one has to become spiritual. To become spiritual means, if you sit here, you clearly know which is you and which is not you. You definitely know the chair is not you. When you clearly know the very body that you carry is not you, and the whole psychological scape is not you, because these are all accumulated from outside, when you have a clear distinction between what is gathered and what is actually you who gathers all this, when you have this distinction, you are spiritual. So this is why practices are structured in a certain way. Even the most basic frontline practice called Shambhavi Mahamudra is about this, that if you get into Shambhavi, if you sit here, your body is here, your mind is playing somewhere else, what is you is little away from these two. This distance initially may be only happening during the practice, but daily morning, evening, if you keep it up, because you're negotiating, Sadhguru, if I do it once a day, is it enough, Sadhguru? No, you keep doing it without all these calculations. One day will come, even if you open your eyes, your body is here, mind is there, you are away from this. Once you create a distance between you and your body, between you and your mind, this is the end of suffering. Once there is no fear of suffering, only when there is no fear of suffering will you walk full stride in your life. You will explore consciousness. Otherwise, consciousness is a scary bloody thing. Who wants to fall into an abyss which has no bottom? Yes, that's what consciousness is, a boundless space. If you jump into a well which has a bottom, you will go and smash yourself. But if you jump into a well which has no bottom, there's really no danger, isn't it? But that is the scariest thing. So, consciousness is not to be feared means you should have no fear of suffering, first of all. That will only happen when there is a little space between you and your body, a little space between you and your mind, because these are the only 2 points of suffering that you know, physical suffering and mental suffering. You do not know any other form of suffering in your life, physical and mental suffering. Once there is a little distance between you and your physiological process, between you and your psychological process, this is the end of suffering. Only when this happens, you will dare to step into boundless nature of existence. Otherwise, you always invest in boundaries. You always invest in bondage, not in freedom. You will always move or strive to stay in untruth, not strive for truth. So, if you really want to move, it's time you invest yourself. If not anything else, at least something as simple as inner engineering. That some fundamentals you sort it out in your mind and bring a practice into your life which gives you a distinction between what is you and what is not you. And that is where your spiritual process begins, not by entertaining yourself with talks and jokes and works. I'll stop telling jokes. No, that was a joke.
राह तकता रहा, थाम ली तूने रूह जो मेरी, एक नजर देखा तुझे, जान लिया मैंने मुझे, तेरी झलक में जान लिया मैंने मुझे।